Hey, it's John and Mike from brew-dudes.com, and today we're going to follow up on our water chemistry exploration this summer, right? This is the big goal of 2013.
Summer of Ions.
Summer of Ions and different chemicals? No, not chemicals. No, different elements in your water.
Elements,
right?
sure, sure.
Elements.
They're really compounds. Yeah, see, you got it yourself.
See, he's the scientist. I'm just the marketing guy. So I think some of the things we're trying to do, I mean, I've done some stuff just to fool around, but this guy is experimenting with two different, you split a batch and now you're doing a few things to one and not doing something to other.
Yeah.
Talk about it. What the hell's going on?
So after we got our water reports from Ward Labs, one of the big things that we discovered, right, is we're practically totally deficient in things like sulfate and calcium. We've got plenty of chloride and sodium coming along, right? Plenty of sodium chloride. Okay. So, but one of the big things with water chemistry is there's two sides to the what water chemistry does for you, right? There's mash pH, then there's how it affects beer flavor. Yeah. So for right now, we're kind of putting mash pH off to the side because I've always checked my mash pH fairly frequently the last few batches, and I'm always pretty good. So let's just focus on flavor first. So I brewed this IPA, Falconer's Flight IPA, and the one thing that they really talk about is that chlorides give you a lot of malty flavors, and sulfites are what really help give you crispness and cleanness to your hop additions. So I figured, with this IPA I wanted to brew, why not double the batch size, split the wort in half, and then focus on just doing a big sulfate addition, calcium sulfate in the form of gypsum, to one of those worts to try to amplify the hop flavor.
Good. So when will this be done?
Well, it just went in the fermenter last night. Okay. Right? So it was a pretty good brew session. Doing a big 10-gallon batch and splitting it is a little bit of a chore. 2 boils going, so it just takes some time. But now that it's in the fermenter, I pitched a pack and a half of yeast into each one, US-05. So I'm going to let it go for about 7 to 10 days primary fermentation. Then I need to dry hop for another 7 days, excuse me. And then after that, we'll be ready to move to a keg, condition it, and then carbonate. So hopefully maybe 3 weeks we'll do our first sampling. And the main goal there is to see, with all that beautiful hopping in an IPA, can we taste the difference between something that's got more sulfate and one that has no sulfate?
Right. Well, I'm pretty sure we'll have a difference.
Yeah, I mean, what I did is I tried to, because we have so much chloride on board, I couldn't try to get like a 2-to-1 sulfate to chloride ratio, because that would put me in somewhere in the 500 ppm sulfate ratio, which just sounds really too big. And I think like Palmer's book and a lot of the texts suggest like 250 to 300 might be the maximum. So I maxed out my sulfate at about 250 ppm to try to balance against the chloride. So we'll see, with as much chloride we have in the brewing water, if just matching it with gypsum is able to create just to change the hop character of the beer.
All right, cool. So I guess once that's done, we'll have the tasting and we'll see if that actually had an effect.
Yeah.
The last one you brewed, no water chemistry, no additions in terms of different salts, and that came out very hoppy.
Yeah, the Falconer's Flight Pale Ale Quasi IPA that we did, that was a beautiful beer. The hops were really vibrant, but I don't know about the bitterness, you know, that quality of it.
We'll see if it makes it even more vibrant. We'll see. All right. So
mind blowing.
I'll wait for that. We'll have a tasting and we'll post that up, and we'll make sure we sync these videos together so that maybe we'll have a whole playlist of water chemistry videos. So until then, John here, Mike here. See you later. Cheers and brew on.
Brew on.
Don't put that in the video. Okay, here we go.
I try to cut that stuff out, but then you start too soon. Give me a second so I'm on camera. Okay, go.